I'm an advocate for worker cooperatives. I believe that the UK Labour Party's manifesto has democratized the economy, has some really good ideas in it about how to allow the workers to be owners, the right of first refusal, to actually buy a company out together as workers. What do you think about that as a long-term solution going forward for our country?
I think worker cooperatives are phenomenal, and the more of that sort of structure we have, the better off we'd be. That's one thing I love about the freedom dividend, is that workers having that sort of ownership stake becomes much more realistic in an economy where people all are sharing in the rewards and have some resources to bring to the table. Where the worker subsistence model is just going to get more and more punishing. And so we have to make owners out of everyone of this society. That's one reason why it's called a freedom dividend, because that's what owners receive when they own shares of a company. They receive a dividend, and we are the owners and shareholders of this country. We should get a dividend, and that would put more workers in position to become owners of various businesses.
And the more we develop those kinds of businesses like solar and wind and hydropower, it becomes obvious this is the commons that we all actually, we're building this wealth that you were talking about. We all built together. Even if some people are out of work for a while, everybody contributed to this for decades or however long, you know what I mean? So we should be able to get something back, and the wealth should not, this great wealth that's been created should not be going primarily to the top. It's something like 80% now. It's ridiculous. So we have to start taking those measures to go in that direction and make sure that I think the system needs to reorganize the structure so that wealth is distributed differently in the first place. Yes. Don't you agree?
And the most effective way to do that is through something like universal basic income, to build what I call the trickle-up economy. Yes. From people and families and communities up. And there are, frankly, relatively few paths to try and build that economy. And in my opinion, everyone's going to understand very quickly that the fastest, most direct, and successful path there is going to involve just putting money into people's hands. It's like a lot of other politicians are trying to backtrack into it in various ways. It's like, oh, we're going to try and make this free, we're going to try and make that free. But like the best way to make us all owners and beneficiaries is to put money in our hands.
Exactly, and we'll contribute to the economy. And
the money's just going to get circulated over and over again through the economy. And we're all going to win for it. Like, even if you go to a room full of CEOs, which I have spoken to, and they know that their businesses do better in an economy where people have money to spend.
And we'll be able to help people that actually are in need, like the people in depression, people that are on addicted to opiates, and also too, I'm an advocate for encouraging people to be productive. And to be honest with you, I think most people actually want to be productive, don't you?
Yeah, of course. And that's one of the things that studies have shown with universal basic income, is that work levels stay essentially the same. The only two groups that work less are new moms who spend more time with their kids and teenagers who graduate from high school at higher levels. So I don't think anyone's going to get mad at that. So I agree. If we have better measurements for our economy, we can start solving the real problems of this age instead of this phantom GDP number, stock market price growth that only advantages really the top fifth of the population, and this phantom headline unemployment number, which is completely not indicative of where we are as a society right now.
Yeah, definitely, because there's underemployed, there's low-wage jobs with little or no benefits, there's temporary gigs and temporary jobs, and it's all of that.
And there's labor force participation, which right now is at 63%, which is near a multi-decade low in the same levels as Ecuador and Costa Rica. So, there are all these pain points that we all see and feel in the economy, and then we're cheerleading these phantom numbers that paint a rosier picture that we all know rings false.